Howdy, and welcome back to another episode of me trying to work on the Corolla. Or at least that's what it is right now. In this little video session, we're going to just simply do the timing belt, full timing kit, and I might start removing some of the little tidbits. We might investigate what the spark plugs look like, remove the valve covers, things of that nature. Mostly because I've been hesitant to really work on things because you can't see the full picture, but I've got boxes upon boxes of parts and they're not all for the Corolla. So I've got to start working on things. But with that said, let's do a quick close-up and just start working on things. So here we are, trying to keep the lighting semi-good. As you can see here, I've already got the engine lined up. There's an indent in the cam here. I just took white paint for and marked it. And I marked it over here too. So makes it real easy to say, hey, they're lined. We got the same thing over here. Whatever, I believe I had it lined up here, but whatever. As you can see, the belt actually isn't even in bad shape. There's still some of the writing on it. But, when you're about to start working on things, and, I'm going to do a turbo, all that jazz, I'd rather know that, hey, the belt's good. Can't remember if it's an interference engine or not. But again, who cares? The engine's sitting right here. The easiest time to do a timing belt is going to be right now. So I've got the kit, includes the belt, water pump, the new pulleys, and I think it includes a couple other things, but we'll go through, replace all this. I'll probably do a time lapse, and then when I get to removing the water pump, remove that. Probably talk about it, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, let's get to work. Well, for some odd reason, I thought this might have had a little more effort to remove the belt. But upon looking at it, I think it's this. Okay, well, maybe a little more effort. Looks like it's a 14 and a 12. Let me just see if I can break this off reasonably quick without making a fool out of myself. Because, no one likes doing that, but I might be doing that right now as I ramble on. Because I also can't find, there we go. I've got a pin in there. There we go. 14. Loosened. So I believe the next is a 12. Ha ha ha. Is that thing a frickin' 13? What the hell? Toyota, what the hell is wrong with you? Or previous owner. One of the two. 13. And that was actually pretty easy. So, yeah. I guess let's finish removing the stuff so you can see the belt coming off pretty easily. Yeah, see, that goes on that side. 14 on this side. 13 apparently on this side. a little lost. Belt's still gonna come off. As you can tell, this engine's been sitting in here for a little bit. This is I think it's a 12-to-1 crank wheel, whatever. And I believe this should just slide off here shortly. Maybe it should. Because, you know, I'd really hate to have to use a screwdriver to get this thing off. There we go. It will slide off. I'll show you what was a pain in my butt. But, yeah, there is cracks in the belt. So it's pretty good. I'm doing this anyway. I mean, can this thing keep going? Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. This one did come off, it just didn't seem to want to. So, whatever. There you can see. And let's give you a quick little close-up. Do-do-do. Let's... Hoping... So, the timing belt was just kind of a pain in the butt because there's a lip right here, or a ledge, where the belt is real, like the belt goes on these teeth, and there's very little space between the back of the belt and this thing. So I'm gonna guess when I put the new belt on, it's gonna be a tight fit. And it feels like, yep, it does. You may not see it, but there's a similar ledge right there. So my finger is on it. Maybe, maybe not, whatever. It is here. You should get an idea. So yeah. And just for those of you that are not informed, just for some knowledge, this is to tell the computer where the crank is. With that, you'll notice, because normally you'll still have this stuff in there, you're going to have a sensor here also on both sides, on this side and on the other side. Let's point that way. There'll be a sensor pointing about here that will tell the computer where the cam gears are. So just, you know, here's some knowledge. But the next thing is going to be to remove this thing. That should simply be done by bolt. I don't know if these need to be removed, but then there's a bolt here, a nut here, a bolt there, a bolt there. Maybe this, I don't know. These longer ones, I'm guessing are gonna have to come out anyway. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, next up, I'm gonna remove this. So yeah, be right back. Well, timing belt is fully removed. We'll go over a few things that you may have seen. Towards the tail end, I sprayed some WD-40 on this, which is for the hydraulic tensioner. Hydraulic tensioner goes here, bolts up, and looks like that. What it does, presses up. This is where you have the little idler pulley or a pulley, whatever, pushes up, tensions the belt. I felt personally that this was just kind of stiff, so I just put a little lube on it. It shouldn't really change much probably, but I felt like doing it. Water pump. Here's the old one. Really, it's an old water pump. Yep, it goes there. You saw me removing the old gasket, really. I'm probably gonna need to take a vacuum to it. Seems like there's a lot of dust or dirt. And here's the timing kit I got. So as you can see, Asian TKT 030. And I bought it off Rock Auto, so I'm not sure if it's good or not. If you determine, or we determine it's good, well then, so be it. Go buy it. Otherwise, don't. Doesn't really matter to me. What comes with it, a little diagram. As I showed you earlier, shows the markings. So yeah, not too bad. They're trying to help you along. Everything that comes in it. Paper. Ooh. Tensioner. I could unbox in the unbox, but I don't care right now. Koyo bearing. Okay. An NSK bearing. Okay. Here's the actual timing belt. Mitsuboshi? So not Mitsubishi, Mitsuboshi. Well, hope it's good enough. There's an O-ring and apply fippage, which I think is the Toyota stuff. And yeah, actually, I will say this water pump gasket actually feels pretty stiff, so that's kind of nice. And here's the water pump. I mean, kind of seems on point. I'm not. I think I am a little lost though. Like, there is an O-ring in here, and maybe it's just one of the parts I removed already. Oh, I think it's one of the parts on the shelf over there. So you know what? I'm going to worry about that later and make sure to keep the O-ring that's with the gasket. With that said, I am going to, start putting this stuff together. So, on to time lapse. Hooray! You just, let me clear my throat. You just watched me stumble through this for a while. So, the timing kit came with instructions, and it said to go that path. And what that path was is start with the crank. That on the gear here, there's a dot underneath it, and there's a mark on the timing belt that says CR. You line the two up, you put the belt on, and then their instructions say to go here, and then go over to this cam. Here, I'll just point here. And there is a mark on the belt that does line up. Let's move this upward just a little bit so you can see. So right here, there is a mark on the cam that lines up with the belt. Then you go this way, it says, here's another guide, which is the water pump. Then it goes up here, and you see a little bit of my white mark. Lines up with the belt again for where it says right cam. This is a right cam. So we go around here. Here is where I was being dense. I could not get this belt on all together with this just bolted in. This is that showing? Oh, it's not, damn. Okay, let's go back down. Okay, I could not get the belt in with the hydraulic tensioner, just bolted in. The grenade pin is still in there, so it's not fully extended. But with this in place, I could not get the belt fully on. I could not get the belt routed all the way and still get it over here. So what I did was I removed it. Let this part, the tensioner, slide all the way in, the belt goes in, then I put the hydraulic tensioner back in, bolted up, and as you saw, bolted it all the way in. Okay, yeah, great. And it looks like, like there's just basic movement. Like all seems good. Like this is the loosest part I feel, but it lines up. One of these days I'll just, have the camera maybe further back. Although that doesn't give detail either. So, it's got, I feel loose, but it's not really loose because it lines up what appears to be perfectly on the belt. I'll show you. Lines up perfectly on both sides. So this tension is expected. So I'm going to assume we've got a good timing belt job here. And yeah, the box is empty. So I'm going to say it's done. For the most part, still got to put this part back on. Which apparently there's at least one company out there that makes, I think, a 36 tooth one of these. And I don't know, I might have to look into that later because I imagine when I'm going turbo, I might want a little more accuracy with my readings. Like the computer might want to know a little more detailed what block the engine's on. But I don't know, I guess here's the moment of truth. Grenade pin. Did I pull everything? I think I'm done. Yeah, only thing left from the kit is this. And I think one of those, this is fippage, another one's something else. So let's pull that. Let's pull that. And, oh well. Okay, there was really no effort there. So I think this had pretty much been tightened via just screwing it back in. So the belt is a tight fit, I feel. But with that said, I think we're going to move on to valve covers and spark plugs. That sounds like fun. So yeah, let's go there. So here we are going to just take out spark plugs, remove valve covers, and see where things sit. With that said, let's just time lapse some of this crap. So, let's start with the spark plug inspection first. This is going front to rear of the engine, and was it left side? So this is the left side of the engine. Let's see if I can not shadow it too much. But, I mean, that one seems a little light. Not sure how long these spark plugs were in there. I'm going to say not an insanely long time, because, you know, they're not freaking worn out. But here's the right side. This look going from front to rear, I am not sure what the hell is on them. Any advice? Be appreciated. I have no idea. Yeah, you know, my shaking is not going to help that. So let's see if I can clean it off a little bit. Not so much. So when I pulled the engine, ran, seemed fine. I am not sure what that indicates, but if anyone has any history with it, feel free to enlighten me. With that said, let's look under the valve covers. It had a valve cover with, you know, that, and then the goop. All seemed fine, didn't appear to leak. I honestly can't remember anymore because I cleaned everything off. But I'm going to say in here, it doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I'm only going off the surface. But like cam lobes, things like that, like nothing's jumping out. Like, hey, I was ran low on oil. Be careful, yada yada. Let's check the other side. Oh wow, holy shit. Okay, well, something happened to this car at some point. So that seems like an original head maybe over there. Because that head has some tinting from oil, like it's been used. This one seems like it's fairly fresh. So I am not sure. Now, let me be clear right out the gate. no matter what I see here, it doesn't matter. This engine is not being dismantled, and it will be going into this car, probably with a turbo, as it sits right now, except valve covers, intake manifold, yada, yada, yada. So if this is a sign that things are bad, I will accept it, let it kill itself, and go forward. If it's fine, then it will go fine and be a 1UZ that we all know and love. With that said, there's some markings on here. So I don't know if I'm really concerned or if I should be. If y'all want to tell me, feel free. It will not change the outcome, but it's good for me to know because this is info that will probably be useful. Oh, well, no, actually, some of that's rubbing off. So, yeah. Anything I can learn is great. Destruction is still a fine course to go. So, yeah. Yeah, no. These heads are, it's kind of weird because I'm assuming this is like an oil pass or like oil transfer or whatever. Assume it's the same thing over here. I don't know. I love the F-design heads to a small degree where it's like, here's one cam with the gear that drives the other one. But anyway, that's everything. I will be cleaning these up and all that jazz. And thank you for watching. I am Chris. This is Utah Sleeper Channel. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thank you for any input you offer as this goes on. Have a good day. Bye-bye.